Before the show gets started, I want to first let you know that you can always support the show via Cash App, Zelle, PayPal. All financial contributions are greatly appreciated, and we really do thank you so much. Now sit back and let's enjoy.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope all is well with you. Listen, make sure you hit that notification thing down there. And also hit that bell, okay? Hit that bell so that you're never left out, you're never confused, you're never wondering as to what I posted. Was I on, or are you guys lost, or what is King really doing? Okay? Just make sure I hit that notification. And make sure you subscribe. I love you guys. Talk to you later. What's up, everybody? What's going on? I hope all is well. I see a lot of you all are in the comments. It is Monday, start of a new week. Hey, Darius. Hey, everybody. What's going on? Hey, what's up, Pastor Nate? Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey. Listen, I do have a very serious topic. This ain't a lawsuit. This ain't no foolishness about no social media stuff. But rather, this is reality. This is life. So I remember, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this movie. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this movie, The Best of Enemies, but this is really what we're dealing with all over again. Hey, what's going on, everybody? All over again. This was dealing with segregating the schools, but we also have to go back to Brown versus Board of Education, correct? I'm not even going to be concerned about these numbers, because y'all know these numbers fluctuate, and we'll have 500 on 1 minute, and then it'll say we got 2. Okay, so it is what it is. Listen, so we're coming up time for election season. We're coming up to, putting people in position and things of that nature. I sat back and I watched this movie, and I was actually having this conversation with Elvis. And I was sitting up here and I was thinking, I was like, it's happening all over again. I know here in Florida, actually all of the Republican governors feel this particular type of way. They want to pull out Black history out of the schools, and just, they just want to teach about, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, and then just say, they don't really want to go deep into slavery. But I thought about something. Actually, I was having this conversation with Benjamin. I thought about something. You know what? Deshauna, you about right. You about right. Plessy versus Ferg. You right. Do you want to come on and talk? Because I need some company tonight. You want to come on and talk? You got class? You want to come on and talk to me? But y'all, I'll tell you like this. You cannot have America. I don't care what nobody says. You cannot have America without having all of our history. Hold on, Deshaun. Hold on. Wait a minute. Oh, I got a song. I know I may not be monetized for this video, but I just want to bless y'all. Listen, if you got a problem with I want to bless y'all. I may not be monetized for this video, but if you don't like what I'm saying tonight, and whatever color you are, Puerto Rican, Black, white, Caucasian, whatever, I want to bless you tonight. If you don't like what I say or do, pretty please, for your sake and mine, unfollow me. Unfollow me. If I make you feel some type of way, unfollow me. If low key you just here to hate, unfollow me. Don't be in my comments, write no essay. Unfollow me. Now tomorrow I'm gonna do it today. Wait a minute, it ended. Okay, well, unfollow. Praise God. Anyways, listen, I just felt that in my spirit. Okay, I just felt it in my spirit. That's Sean there. Let me go send you this invitations, okay? Oh, let me see. What was my cell phone at? Deshaun, I think your cell phone number is still the same. Deshaun. Let me see. Yeah, go Pertlow. There it is. Pertlow. We're gonna send that Deshaun to Pertlow. Okay. Listen. I'm really learning about the entire school system even the more. Wait. This thing said y'all will make a song out of anything. Hold on. Who is y'all? Be careful when you use the y'all word now. Praise God. Okay. Whether it's segregation of the schools, whether it's segregation of the community, they're shining right now. My sister!
You are so silly.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you something. We're gonna be doing this all week. All week. I'm talking about the Board of Education all week. I remember when I was in school,
Mm-hmm.
I graduated in high school, I graduated from McKeel Academy in Lakeland, Florida. And you just saw, us as coloreds, you know what I'm saying? Colored
Mm-hmm.
people. We really had to work our behinds off, like no doubt. We worked our behinds off to get scholarships, to get good grades. We worked overtime, and I mean, but it's like I saw white kids, they just, it felt like it was just handed to them,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, I remember my engineering teacher was Miss Jefferson. Yes, Miss Jefferson, if you watching, daughter God, I'm talking about you. So Miss Jefferson was my engineering teacher. I was really good at designing and putting, graphs together for
Mm-hmm.
homes. I was always a creative student. But it was like you had other kids in the class who just fluffed off. You know what I'm saying?
Right. They just did whatever.
Oh, Chuck got this thing plugged up. That's why I heard that. Okay. And it's like, I mean, them kids, they was going to Moorhead, they was going to this school, they was going to that
Mm-hmm.
school, they was going to Florida State. And I was like, this was my question. How do I get scholarships
That.
where these kids didn't have to work as hard as me?
Mm-hmm.
They got scholarships, they got money, they got grants, they got all this, but we had to work our behinds off. And it's like, I remember when we had to do the FCAD, the SATs,
Mm-hmm.
and taking all this stuff out.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Unfortunately, and I also graduated from the South here in Alabama. And I did put in the chat that
okay, I'm sorry.
yeah, that it never changed. Like in Alabama, it never changed. And this is the thing. I graduated high school in 2003, and it was still a us versus
You
them.
went
It
after
was
me.
yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, so it has always been an us versus them. And I can remember during Black History Month, the administrator would allow me to do the Black fact of the day. She even allowed me to put posters up all across the school about Black history. But it was one of those things where it wasn't like they were going to recognize it. They were going to do it. Or, in high school, your schedule is split. So you could have had history that first 9 weeks, and then after that, you don't have it again. And so it was one of those things where we had to put it in their face. We were excited because the homecoming court was Black people. It was me, my best friend, and 2 other Black girls. We was excited just for that. And it's one of those things like, even in 2003, we were still doing the us versus them, because in the town I live in, to be honest with you, Black people are the majority, but you wouldn't be able to tell that if you went into our school system, because the majority of those kids in our system, they're Black, but you can't tell that. There was this one scholarship that everybody wants, the Bill Gates Millennium Scholarship.
Yes, God. I remember that.
When I tell you, everybody worked their tails off to get that Bill Gates, and it's almost like we didn't get it. We didn't. And it wasn't like we weren't doing the same thing. We were in the same AP classes, if not smarter than the person that actually got it. To be honest, even our valedictorian, they tried to play her, and they made her valedictorian along with someone else. They tried to play her. Her GPA was the highest in the whole school, not just the class. The school tried to play her, say they put her with somebody else. But and I continue to say it, Southern trees still bear strange fruit. They still do. I don't care what nobody say. They still do. Like, they've making some strides, but they really have not come along. They've come a long way, but they haven't come a long way.
I was telling Benjamin this. Matter of fact, I'm I'm gonna send this video to him. Wait 1 second, thanks to God. So I can send this to old Benjamin. Let me go over here. Hold on, I don't want this loud now.
And another thing that it's just and it's all about when you do research on it. You remember they had this whole argument they're having this whole argument about critical race theory, right?
Oh yeah. Oh no. We finna go there tonight because me and Benjamin, we was talking about this a couple hours ago, and they're wanting to take critical race theory out of schools.
But what you got to know is, here's the thing, it was never there. You want to know why critical race theory was not in schools? Because in order to argue critical race theory, you have to first know your history, the Black history, in order to do that. So really, they teach critical race theory when you're in, like, if you're going to law school, or if you're in like college, if you're in like college level law school type situation. So they were arguing at the secondary level that they're going to take out critical race theory. It was never there. So basically what they're actually saying is they want to take out teaching Black history. That's what they're saying. But they got us in an uproar about critical race theory. Critical race theory was never there. It's Black. You have to know the history first before you go to argue the race theory. And critical race theory wasn't just about Black, white. It wasn't just about that. And I keep telling people, don't get distracted by that word or those words, critical race theory. It's Black history that they're trying to put under there. That's what's under there. That's the real argument.
But see, Benjamin and I, we was talking about this earlier today, and the thing about it, and I reposted. Oh God, I'm spitting. I posted something on my United Kingdom page, and we don't really think about this, but it made sense to me. If you take our history out, which America's Black history is not enough. It don't even justify real history. When we think about slavery, Deshauna, like real talk, we think about slavery, we think of ourselves like that's where we came from. We came from slaves, right?
Right.
But in actuality, when they came and picked our four parents up, grandparents, great, auntie, uncle, them, all them peoples, babe, you didn't pick no slaves up.
No, you didn't.
You picked up doctors, lawyers, physicians, farmers, teachers, preachers, spiritualists. You didn't pick up a slave. You picked up
the daughter of a king.
A king, a queen.
Yep.
You pick these people up. Like, okay, let's say, oh man, let's just say, I don't see y'all talking down here in these good comments. Y'all talk back to me today. What's the problem? Okay, let me go over and see what's going on. Let's see. Oh, they over here talking. Well, I can't see nothing. Okay, whatever. Let's just say that we decide to go over into Europe and start a whole new slave trade. You're not going to Europe and pick up slaves. Hey, Thais, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And if you want to come on, I can send you the link too, Thais. When you talk about all of this stuff, when you talk about it, our history, according to America Studies, America's books, is 1600, we were slaves. We don't even dig into, but then you have to really understand, this is why right here, that it is good for people to do research. And I said,
you have to, and it has to go further than Harriet Tubman. It has to go further than Frederick Douglass. It has to go all the way back to how we actually got here, because a lot of times,
and who we were before this,
right? Before we got here, because everything about us continues to shape this country, from our culture to our experience to our influence. Everything still actually influences this country. And I say it all the time. I keep saying it. I said, there is a reason why they like to dangle carrots in front of us, because they know how powerful we are. We haven't come into how powerful we are, because if we did, we would be the majority in a lot of stuff, a lot of narratives we wouldn't have. But because we allow them to continue dangling carrots in our face, we don't come to our full power. Once we do, we will then realize as a whole people that we actually run this country. Everything about it is what we created. But it's hard because it's not everybody, but if we don't learn what it is, because we're going to lose a whole generation that don't even know who Rosa Parks is. We're going to lose don't even know who she is. Literally, my goddaughter had a test at school the other day. I asked her, she got a question wrong on the test. It said, what did Rosa Parks do? One of the answers was give up her seat on the bus, at the movies, or I think it was movies, or at school. That baby put on that piece of paper, at the movies. I said, at the movie? What happened? She's 8. And I'm guessing they took a test because this is what they were in the curriculum. It broke my heart, but at the same time, I said, we're gonna lose a whole generation if we don't bring this thing back in and help them do this research, because that No Child Left Behind got these kids out here acting a plum fool.
First of all, that No Child Left Behind
was the whole devil.
George Bush,
whole devil.
A whole fool.
Because I got college students that don't even know how to sign their name on a piece of paper.
We you know, with my niece, when she was in school, they weren't practicing cursive. You know, we had to practice. When did I start doing cursive? Oh God, I think I was in the 5th grade. We started doing cursive.
I'm about to say it had to be around the 4th, 5th grade when we got introduced.
Yeah, like, you know, hey auntie, what, baby, we was, you know, trying to listen. It is so sad that we don't even want to educate. We don't want to work hard. The students and teachers here in Florida have it so crazy, have it so bad that it's like, with this coronavirus stuff going on right now, Nancy said cursive writing in the 3rd grade here. I started cursive writing when I was in the 2nd grade. Oh, okay. The thing about it, you know, I think we was about we was about the 3rd grade. We was about 3rd or 4th grade. Yeah.
Yeah, it had to be somewhere around the 3rd or 5th grade in there somewhere.
Yeah, I think that, yeah. It's sad that, you know, when it comes down to us as Black people, African Americans, people of color, you know, it's like they'll work hard to make sure that white kids, you know, whatever, you got little no, I want to say Ricky because that's kind of like a Black name, Puerto Rican Black name. You got little John and little Sue and Karen, you know,
got little Amy. Yep.
You know, Amy, you know, they want to be us.
But they want to go to University of Alabama. They want to go to UA because that's what they preach out here. UA and Auburn, like they the only schools. But listen, let me tell you, every chance platform I get, baby, listen, I need you to go to HBCU. As a matter of fact, I graduated from the Alabama State University. If you need a tour, let me know. Because at the end of the day, what they taught there, you can't get it nowhere else. They taught that no matter who you are, where you are the competition. When you walk in the door, it's you, nobody else. Period.
I'm talking about, like, for me, I've always wanted to go to an HBCU. Now I'm back in Florida, so I think I'm gonna take my chances on going to FAMU. Okay,
make it happen.
Huh?
Make it happen.
Oh, hey.
Listen, it don't matter when you start, you gotta finish it.
So I gotta finish up my bachelor's, right? Because I was at Metro State University in Minnesota working on my bachelor's, and then I had to move and everything like that. But the thing about it is, we as a people, it is very important for us to really teach our people that we were more than slaves.
Yeah.
And we are so much more than what is portrayed to us. Because what's portrayed to us is a bunch of nothing. You got rappers, you got everybody want to wear jewelry and bling bling and pow pow. And then now it's so bad. You got the preachers portraying the same thing, like you're not blessed unless you got on Gucci and this and all of that. I'm like, man, whatever. But see, to me, this is the reason why I go hard on church folks the way that I do. And I really feel some type of way when it comes down to education. One, the truth about me is the reason why I'm very passionate about education. And I told this story before, but I'm gonna have to just go ahead and go get the picture for the peoples. So my mama had me when she was 16 years old, right? And when she had me, she was like your friend. She was the valedictorian of high school, Turl, Arkansas, right outside of Memphis, Tennessee, West Memphis and everything. It's a little small town, Turl, Arkansas, the Rockets. And they really did not want her to be the valedictorian, but you couldn't deny, like your friend, her grades, her test scores, all of this stuff. You could not deny any of that. So they also tried to throw in there, well, she's pregnant. How's she gonna finish up school? My grandma and auntie and everybody was like, she gonna pass, she gonna finish, we gonna make sure that. Had me, boom, well, no, she walked across, I think, did she walk across stage with pregnant or did she have me? One of them. Anyways, however, she walked across that stage, all honors, and a valedictorian. And this is why I kind of like them a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton presented my mother with the valedictorian award.
That's it.
So my thing is, I come from people that work hard to get what they want. Now, this is a little personal for me, but when I think about education, I think about how my family built a school in Polk County. Now,
that ain't something that's not easy to do at all.
If you ever pull this story up, you're going to see, oh, they stole money. It was never about that. It was never about anybody stealing money. It was never about anybody stealing money. We were the only Black school. We were pulling individuals from everywhere possible. We were busing kids from Wauchula, Florida, Bartow, Bushnell, all up into down past what was we? Bartow, and then you went on past there. You went to no, that wasn't Willacoochee. That was. We got a bunch of names here.
I'm about to say the only part I know is Sarasota because my aunt lived there.
I know. Once you get down them real southern cities, the names get real funny. I'm telling you. But we were busing kids from all over, and it was like they was trying to find something. Even Governor Jeb Bush said, we're going to make an example out of them. Anytime a Black person, now mind you, and what they try to say, they was like, oh, they're stealing from the McCain scholarship. Mind you, you trying to say that we stole $600,000, which really ain't no money. And you got a whole, again, y'all, if y'all don't see the significance of all this, you got a whole family of people that the importance of educating, we all work together. You know, I wasn't involved, but I was parents. You are willing to throw all of them in jail for trying to help people of color and minorities and white people who are considered minorities too, because Sarah Ann. You know what Sarah Ann may be. You know, all them, we was helping. It didn't matter what color you were. We was trying to make sure that you succeeded. That's what type of school it was. And really, I remember it was like one boy, he was in middle school, and they was pushing him to play football, like football. But the boy couldn't read, couldn't even write that good, but he's in middle school. By the time he got through the school, he was reading, he was writing, could have a good. But anytime we try to do that, it's like they will sit out and pull out all the stops. I remember the day that all this stuff happened, they said that there were drugs in the school. That was a lie. It was so much stuff. And it's like, I think about that now, and when it comes down to just this history stuff, it's like, they really don't want us to succeed. They want us to be the borrowers. They want us to,
Yeah.
They want us to be the ones that come to them. But it's like you said earlier, we have the gifts. We have the talents. But anytime that we try to operate in our gifts and our talents, we're shut down. Not unless we're out here doing. What happened now?
Yeah, it's time to pull us right back. And what's also unfortunate is that what we do also have to understand is that Black history is not just taught at school. You do have to teach it at home. When I was 7 years old, I became a lifetime member of the NAACP from my mama, because that's how I first started learning it. And I took it to school with me and questioned, so what about this person? What about that person? And they would literally look, and I would always get those marks: talks too much in class. No, you, because I'm trying to talk about something that you don't want me to talk about.
Deshauna, the shit wouldn't happen. What happened, daughter God? Oh, there she go. Hold on. There we go. Okay.
I can't remember what song it was, but Eve was like, some of y'all ain't writing well, too concerned with fashion. And it goes back to when you said, talking about we got Gucci out of, but we can't read.
Your signal is really bad.
Probably because I'm over here in the country. Can you hear me now?
I'm here.
Okay, because I'm in the country. Lord bless it.
But you know what? I know how it is being in the country. Hey, Miko. The thing is that we'll sit here and no, we'll sit here and we'll be like mad at the little small stuff, right? We'll be mad that, we'll be mad that our certain team didn't win. But I'm like this. I not only want my brown boys and brown girls to be exceptional. I was trying to say another word, but exemplary. I think that's what I was trying to get to. Not only do I want our babies to be exceptional in sports, but I want them to be exceptional in their education. I want them to truly understand that you are more than working at Burger King. You're more than working at McDonald's. You're so much more. I mean, and baby girl, you are so much more than being a beautician. Because, that's the thing that they push too. You ain't going to do nothing but do hair. My sister Miko is an excellent She's a teacher. She's a teacher of in the beauty industry. But she's so much more than a teacher of cosmetology. Like she teaches the chemistry of the workings of
Because that's a
being.
whole industry. Industry.
And you know, even amongst that industry, you have the blacks that fight one another, and they're so, you know, caught up in, again, Gucci, Fendi, Prada. Girl, you see me? Yes, girl. Baby, it's so you need to learn the fundamentals of this stuff other than throwing a little French roll and some braids up there.
Not a French roll.
Girl, listen, I'm an 80s baby. You gotta know more.
Yeah. I used to get the French rolls.
Huh?
I used to get the little French rolls, child, with the finger waves.
And the big curls and stuff.
We was kids.
My mom, she was studying law. She was a beautician, outside of church stuff. You know, I hate that they really got caught up in church stuff. Although I do love the Lord. I do love him.
Right, but his kids are disrespectful.
Oh, his children is so disrespectful. Oh. But it's like, if we get caught up in learning, and you know what? You know, we did Bible study some years ago, and we just really delved down into Deuteronomy. And it talked about how that my people, well, that's another scripture, but my people perish for the lack of knowledge. But my people also perish because they rejected. There's a passage in Deuteronomy where it talked about that they're going to do their best to annihilate you. They're going to do their best to make sure that your race of people is no more. Now, I really don't want to get all into the biblicals and carry on, but it's like, if we don't understand that how important we are as a people, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I ain't got no issue with white peoples. I ain't got no problem.
No problems at all.
No problems at all. You respect me, I respect you. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. We go on and we continue moving. But at the end of the day, what I really want us to really get to the root cause of all of this. Miss Sheila said Psalms 83. Miss Sheila, you remember them scriptures, girl? Make sure Psalms 83.
You know what I remember? And she's passed away now, but my great-great-grandmother, I remember having to call her for Black History, because we used to have to do like these Black History papers. I can remember calling her, and when I called her and I would just listen to her tell me stories, she told me, and this has been my motivation and will continue to be my motivation until I leave up out of here. She had to stop going to school in the 3rd grade because she had to work on the farm because the family had to eat. And they had to get, they had money.
Southern peoples, that's it.
Yeah. And so with that, and I would think about it, and even to this day, I think about it, and I said, if I had to stop everything that I knew in 3rd grade, oh my gosh, like I could barely, in 3rd grade, we could still barely make subject and verbs agree in 3rd grade. And to think that not even my great-grandmother, had to stop going to school in 3rd grade. It tells me, and I have to tell people this all the time, this didn't happen a long time ago. My daddy was one of the first Black kids in the school in South Carolina. So, and he's only like, 63? This didn't happen a long time ago. This happened in our parents' time, in our grandparents' time, our great-great-grandparents' time. We have to start teaching our kids this, and not just our kids. We have to start learning this stuff too, because we're going to lose a generation of people not knowing how powerful we are to what you just said, the Gucci, the Prada, the stuff them people don't even wear. And it's like, you got to be worth more than that.
Like you you go to white churches, white organizations, they're not caught up in this stuff. Like they're not like you see us. We the ones who out here, we gotta be like, oh girl, girl, you see this new Gucci bag? Oh, you see this new Coach bag? I mean, we're the ones that's caught up in and you go to these people's functions, organizations and stuff. Hey, Thais.
Hey.
People's functions and stuff, and they be like jeans, t-shirt, little pullover, like.
And it goes back to that carrot dangling thing. And I said they dangle that in front of us, and we grab it instead of gravitating to more wealth. Like we pick on like Latino Americans and all that, but at the end of the day, it has to be substantial wealth. It has to continue past when mama died, when granddaddy died, or whatever. It has to. You can't go buy a $300 bag when you can't give me 300 words on an essay. You can't do that. But then that's what these kids are being taught, unfortunately, not by their parents, but by what they see, because parents are at work and we have to do something to keep them busy. We got to put them in front of something. And that's unfortunate. That's why I keep saying we have to be the bearers of that information to give to them. Like, I don't count it a coincidence that all our big heads are leaving up out of here. Because we are the people that's supposed to take that mantle they had and take it and continue it on, because we can't lose a generation. Because believe it or not, Jives, our generation, we're the ones that when we were sitting in like these little forums and stuff in school, we're like, oh, they get on my nerves. But we're them people now. The kids that are coming up after us, those are the ones that are gonna be taking care of us. Mm-hmm. And if it's any indication now of what these kids are gonna, we better go back to taking our herbs and spices, because these kids gonna take us up out of here.
I was and I'm glad Miss Sheila had sent it to me. Like this, how people don't understand, especially our folks don't understand how valuable we really are. When they get ready to do drug test, who they come to? Who they advertising the drugs to? Us. You want some money? You get a testing and you get this and you get that and you get this. All you gotta do is take this little drug. They experiment on us because of our body types, what we can take, what we cannot take. Thais, ain't we the ones that gave penicillin to?
Yeah, and Tuskegee. And they use a black nurse, and they use a black nurse to do it, to get the word out.
Female medicine, when it comes to female reproductive medicine, guess who were the guinea pigs for that? We were the guinea pigs for that. And so that's why now I do tell people you have to advocate for your health, especially if you're African American female, because guess what? They don't think that we have pain. They don't think it hurts. They'll throw an 800 ibuprofen at you and say, all right, you run on, and you really don't feel good, because they think that our pain level is like astronomical, like we don't have one, but we're preconditioned to work through it. We're preconditioned to make it happen because we've had to. We've worked through headaches and barely being able to stand up, and they think, and that's why they do us like that. But we have to advocate for our health and our education, because they don't think we're smart enough to know it, and they don't think that it hurts.
Well, you know what the thing is that it's fun. It's foundational in America. The disparities, the blueprint of just from. I mean, you can go back as from when we landed here to now. It is an actual blueprint, and if anybody has an opportunity tonight, just Google eugenics. And you can, get into it and just see what their thought process was. They were trying to say that we were intellectually inferior. There were whole programs built around this. And all of the tentacles from all of these things lead to today. It's like a roadmap. Like I was saying, Dred Scott, Plessy versus Ferguson, the Board of Brown versus the Board of Education. Even with Plessy versus Ferguson, when you look at the case on its merits, right? separate but equal.
Equal, yep.
Separate but equal, right? Okay, so they say it's not discrimination if there's a white bathroom and there's a black bathroom and both of the accommodations are the same. Okay.
Wait, Thais. Do you remember the movie Hidden Figures?
Yeah. I didn't see it. That's the only movie I have never seen. Hidden Figures. I got to see it.
If you watch Hidden Figures and you understand the story, it was the same thing. The white woman was telling the black woman the same thing. Like, you know, we don't have any black supervisors here, separate but equal. You know, they Taraji had to run from where she was working at all the way to the black quarters just to use the bathroom, separate but equal. But she was the smartest woman on the campus and put a man, the first man on the moon. Not only that, Thais and Deshonda, but it's like when you think about all of this stuff, separate but equal, you say that we're separate but equal, but you want my knowledge. And that's not going to help me, but that's going to help you. As y'all, I've always been a movie buff. I like certain movies. It just tickles my mind. It just makes, it makes it make sense for me. I look at how Black people have excelled in so many things. I remember even the story. This is education. I know these young dumbass kids don't know this, but Thais, do you remember the story of Little Richard? How white people, white music industries try to get white people to do his music, and then he had to keep speeding it up to make it where that you can't outdo his stuff. I mean, it was like you want to take his, like, he's amazing at what he does, but now you want a white person to do it so that they could outsell what he's doing.
Well, that was a whole genre. It was called race records back in those days. It was a whole thing where they would bring in, after you would record your song, then they would bring in white people like with Elvis Presley. With Elvis Presley, people don't know that Big Mama Thornton did Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog first. But Elvis Presley sold millions of records on it, and it's just another, slap in the face to Black people, Black artistry, because we are so gifted, even with our inventions, even with medical advances and stuff. We have created, invented, and did so much. When you look at the Henrietta Lacks story, when you look at her story, you really see how evil these people really can be. I ain't gonna say who, but they can really be evil when you take someone's DNA, when you take someone's cellular DNA and then you use it for medical advances and pharmacological advances for years, and you give her family, her descendants, absolutely nothing. This is the kind of evil that we're dealing with in the education system as well.
Thais, it was a Disney song, and they took that song from this African man, and they made millions upon millions upon billions of dollars off that song. And they did not want to pay the originator of this song until this white man fought for this family to get that money.
Yeah.
And it really didn't even, what was it? In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps.
Oh, yeah, a weem away.
A weem away.
A weem away.
It took them years. But that family finally got, it was milk. Wait a minute, let me see. What was the lawsuit? What was the lawsuit with? Okay.
And it's just little small things, from the dustpan to the little stopper that you put in your sink to wash your dishes. It's little small stuff like that we invented. Even the potato chip, we invented the potato chip. It was by accident, but it's things like that. Even the lady that invented the first home security system, they did not give her credit for that at all. And she was also a nurse, and they did not give her credit for that at all, because at the end of the day, they want our knowledge, but they don't want our face.
Yeah, and so many inventors, Black inventors, they were not able to patent their stuff. And if they did patent, many times they were stolen. It was all kind of underhanded stuff going on. So, we've come a long ways as a people. But to bring it back to education, when you look at today's, because I'm a victim of the public school system. I didn't graduate. I'm a high school dropout. When I went to the 11th grade, the first year of the 11th grade, right? And me and my best
make sure you get. Well, I want to say you gonna get your GED this year. We gonna work.
I'm fine. I'm self-taught. Like I'm self-taught, like Malcolm X. So I'm good. But
okay,
when me and my best friend went to the first day of the 11th grade, right? We get there, and you go to get your program, so you see what your classes are.
That's
so
how
we go to.
So he said, "Go get your
program."
Wait a minute. What happened? I can't see.
I said, we know how old Thais said.
He said program.
He said he went to go get his program.
It was called. Was it called programs? What were they called? With your classes on it?
You talking about your schedule?
Your schedule.
Yeah.
I'm so used to being. Deshaun. I'm so used to being at funerals, not programs. Your schedule. So we went to go get our schedule of classes, and we walk up there and we give them our names, and our names are not in the little thing. So they refer us to the office, the admissions. So we go over there, and then they give us a form and tell us that we have been kicked out of school and we have to go to continuation school. Okay, so we go to continuation school, and I kid you not, there was a white lady there, and she sat at the desk, and we just sit in class. We did nothing all day, absolutely nothing. We talked, we joked, we shot the breeze, and at 2:00 you went home, and we did that every day. So the public school system for Black boys and girls has been a detriment for us for a very long time. Now here's what the kicker is. I didn't really get get the knowledge and information that I needed into 20 years later when I went to community college for the first time. So it was sad that it was a failure on the public school system's part for not following up with students, for not checking in with students. When you're not there, not trying to figure out who you are or where you are, what they would do is they would just, you're not there, just mark you absent. It was crazy.
And you know what? And I don't think people know it, or if they haven't researched it or anything like that. But the Daughters of the Confederacy, they are the people that dictated what went in textbooks. That's why when you see textbooks that have a watered down history of us, it's only 2-3 pages, and then it just glorifies that we lost, because we did lose the war. We lost. I don't know why they still think that they won. We lost. Okay. So they dictated what went into the textbooks, and all the large textbook companies, and people don't know that. And they were like, well, why is this not in there? Because the Daughters of the Confederacy had a little club meeting one day and was like, hey, this what needs to go in the textbook about Black people, but this what needs to go about our palm-handed people, our colored people.
And that's why this fight that we're up against right now, this new fight of affirmative action that's getting ready to go to this, already at the Supreme Court, is so monumental, because affirmative action and higher education, if you're not a legacy, like if you don't have a legacy parent, or there's an endowment, or a lot of people are just not going to be able to get to the higher echelons of education. A lot of people may be, smart enough to go to Yale or Harvard or some of the Ivy League schools, but because of the rigorous admissions process, they may not have that opportunity, So it's sad. And let me just say this, 'cause I seen a white woman speaking about this the other day on her live. White women are the primary benefactors to affirmative action. So when y'all get on Twitter and y'all be, ranting and stuff, honey, just do a little more research, because white women are the #1 benefactors to affirmative action. I'm going to say that one more time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's unfortunate. And like we've been saying, first it has to start at home. You got to get it at home. Somebody, I don't care if it's an auntie or uncle or neighbor, mentor, you have to get it at home, because we know they're not going to teach it to us at school. We know that.
No.
We know that. So it has to start at home, but the people at home in the neighborhoods, they have to know it as well. Like, they have to know about people like Dred Scott. They have to know about people like Frederick Douglass. And it's not just a Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks situation. You have to know about these people, because if not, they're going to be able to tell us and do us any way they want to, and it'll get worse before it gets better, unless we come into our power of who we are, what we are, and what our contributions are, and not just during Black History Month. And I tell people all the time, I said, Black History Month could have been in March. It's just Carter G. Woodson and those kids over there at Kent State was doing it for a week because it was Frederick Douglass's birthday, and Abraham Lincoln, and they were just like, well, let's do it for a week. It could have been in March if they wanted it to.
And we can shout out, and we can shout out President Ford for making it a month. Right, you know, turn up. I don't really shout out a lot of white. I don't really shout out that many white men presidents, but you know, President Ford, we shout you out for that. You know,
we do, and that's why. And that's the tell you got to understand, they didn't give us February. We were doing February. So, and that's a misconception a lot of people have. Like, oh, they just gave us 28 or 29 days. No, they didn't. That's just when we were doing it. If we would have did it in March, they could have been in March.
Well, and that's the thing. Doris Morello said, I'm in the harness horse racing business, and I'm in the harness horse race business, and my grooms, my attorney, and most of my drivers are all Black. I pay them very well because they are dependable and I can trust them with my business, and I'm a white woman.
All right. Okay. Okay.
She said her grooms and her attorney are all Black.
Oh, okay, Doris. Wow.
Well, here's the thing. From the dawn of whenever this conception of slavery, white people knew we were talented and skilled, and we knew what we were doing.
Yep.
Like, we can break a horse, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
We can grow a farm and grow a whole field of corn, cotton, and everything, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, a lot, and this ain't, towards nobody, but meanwhile, because like where I'm from, like I was brought up for a short period of time, y'all. I was brought up in the South because I was born in West Memphis, lived in Memphis, but my people were from Turner, Arkansas. And I remember, y'all, I kid you not, I remember this like it was yesterday. My folks was out there, because if you go to Arkansas now, you still see the cotton fields out there on the side. We used to go out there in the cotton fields, and my mom and them had to break a little hole so I could have a little hole too. And I was out there, you know what I'm saying, doing my little thing out there in the field. I've been playing down and stuff till they told me I couldn't do it no more. So they told me I was over water. So I used to charge folks a piece of candy so I get a little water. So it's like I got a chance to experience some of that in my life. Then we moved up north to Minnesota. It is totally different from the South. I moved to Minnesota in the late 80s. Minnesota was very different from the South. And it was still racist, but it was racist. It was, we love you, but it's that undertone.
Yeah.
Better than you. Don't do this now. Don't.
Yeah.
Because my teacher, and I ain't gonna say God rest her soul, Miss Quattro, she was an old nasty woman. You know what I mean? Like my friend at the time was a little white boy, and she would always didn't like us playing together. And we would be playing together. She would accuse me of doing something. I gotta go sit in timeout. While Matthew, I remember his name was Matthew. While Matthew go and do whatever, and I'm just sitting here in timeout. And then she always calling my mom at home, talking about I'm incapable of learning and I don't have the capacity, and I want to be the class clown. I'm just sitting there looking like, what? I mean, but you know what happens is when you keep telling a child things like that, that's what they believe.
Yeah.
And I was told that so much. I was like, but I didn't believe. I was like, I wasn't in the class. So let me tell y'all what happens. Any black person that know what I'm talking about, just type in the comments, amen. Your teacher tell you, I'm gonna tell your mama. See, because I don't like you, and I'm gonna make sure you get in trouble. Baby, Miss Quarter told my mama all kind of stuff. And I said, Mama, I didn't do that. I didn't say that. Oh, you calling the teacher a lie? You calling a grown person a lie? I'm gonna beat you behind. You don't disrespect your elders. And I'm like, well, I didn't do it. And so we grow up with that mindset, like anything I say, it won't even, it's just I'm gonna get beat because I told on the teacher, and the teacher ain't lying because that's an adult, and you better not ever say the adult lying. That's what it is. And so again, our kids, we grew up like that. You know what I'm saying? And anytime you try to tell on something or somebody, it was always you don't correct no adult. Like what?
Yeah. And so now what we have to do is, with the generation of kids we have coming up now, it's because they're a product of us saying we're not going to do you like our parents did us. And so now they ask questions that these kids, you cannot tell them because I told you, because I said so. You can't say that to these kids because then they're going to keep asking the questions. And at the end of the day, to a fault, it's okay, because guess what? Yeah, I want you to know why I said do X, Y, and Z. And even when we were in church, we were told, I can remember being told, you getting baptized next week, or this, that, and the third, not knowing why, not understanding why, but because that's what I was told to do. But this generation now, you have to explain. So you can't just say, you going to church on Sunday. What's church? What is that? What we doing over there? You have to explain it to them. And the good thing about that is it's good until it gets disrespectful. Because you do have to ask, because you don't want to just be doing stuff because I told you so.
But back to, with this school thing, it's like, how do I say this? We have got to really fight for ourselves. Like when it comes down to the government and everything, like I'm really having a greater understanding. I was telling Elvis today, I'm having a greater understanding of who does what, does where, does where. Because the whole taking Black history out of the schools, that's the race theory situation. That's the governors. The governor said, we're not putting it in the school. We're not doing it, period. The curriculum, that's state level. I believe I'm saying that right. He probably watching, and he'll text me if I'm saying it wrong. The curriculum is the state level. We really have to be in place to make sure that our voices are heard and that we make a difference. You're not going to sit up here and tell me my history, and the only thing that you want to talk to me is Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Frederick Douglass. No, there are people's names out here that I need to know about. Look, there are a list of Black inventors who who created the air conditioner. It was a Black man. I didn't know that.
Yep, the dustpan. The dustpan was a Black man.
Where is it? Oh,
there's a whole. There's a whole. It's literally an encyclopedia of Black inventors. The list just goes on and on. Go in your house, look around your house, and every room that you sit in, there's multiple things that were invented by a Black person in every room in your house.
Y'all remember who did the heart surgery?
Yeah, you got Daniel Hale.
What was that? That was John Hopkins.
Dr. Daniel Hale was heart surgeon, and you got Charles Drew.
You have so many people that are not in any of these books, that never made it to the books. And a lot of the history they don't want you to know about, because a lot of our history is revolutionary. So they ain't going to tell you about Denmark Vesey, or they're not going to tell you about Nat Turner or the Haitian Rebellion, or you know what I'm saying? They ain't going to tell you about that kind of stuff because they don't want to get it in your head that you can fight back against the system. So you're not going to hear about Joanne Chestermeyer or Brother Fred Hampton and the Black Panthers. all of those people are going to be labeled as terrorists. You know what I mean? So it's a lot that our kids have to learn, and it's up to us.
They paint the Black Panther movement as terrorists. But when you
not knowing that's where we get WIC from. That's where WIC came from. But they said the Black Panther Party was terrorist.
Took it from us and developed their own program, and then they say, this is what we're going to give you, which the Black Panther situation was never so that we could stay on that. It was to help you on your feet and so you could be better.
Yep. And because they weren't feeding us before we went to school. And so they were like, hey, we got our kids need breakfast too. You know, and so it was done as a supplement. Okay, let's help you get here. So then once you get out of that, you can make it happen. But there was a disconnect somewhere that we were losing. You know what I'm saying? We started losing that sense of culture, that sense of togetherness. And people said,
Deshaunda, what you had is you had a lot of infiltrators that infiltrated the Black Panther Party and pretended like they were, you know, for the cause, and really dismantled the house from the inside out. J. Edgar Hoover, all he had to really do was just implement the COINTELPRO program, and then allow us, you know, snitches and confidential informants just to run amok.
It's all about that money.
Yeah, it was just a matter of time. It really was. Yeah, it was just a matter of time.
That's what's the sad part about it is with us. All you have to do is give us a little money, and baby, we'll tap dance for you. And it's just like
it's that carrot.
The dangling of the carrot. When do we stop it? Like, come on now. Like, we need to be able to be strong ourselves, but we have, and that's how we lost the war, LaShonda. We had people infiltrating within the system to go tell the enemy, I'm not saying y'all, whatever, to go tell our enemy at that time what was going on the inside. So therefore, when we got ready to fight, they already knew how to defeat us. But you know what? I did the Bible study for those who have followed me for a number of years. Y'all remember this. In Psalms 83, this is, I remember reading this and I remember cussing everybody out. Psalms 83 says, keep not thou silence, O God. Behold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make atonement, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They have confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and Ishmaelite and Moab and Hagarites and all these other folks and stuff. What I'm trying to tell y'all is this right here. Because of who we are, and I don't care how you say it or how anybody feels about it, because of who we are as a people, people have sat back and studied how good you are, and they want to be you. They want to take from you. They want to replace you. And if not want to replace you, want to use you so they can duplicate what you do so they can go do it too. We see it all the time. I got a good one. Me and Thais, we work well together. You got people, especially some of us, who sit back and don't like the camaraderie and will sit there and tell Thais something to make Thais feel some type of way about me. But they'll never come say nothing to me, but they'll say something to Thais. So then Thais feeling some type of way like, now is Jives really doing that? And Thais don't want to say nothing, but he be just like, now I don't know. And then you wonder like, Thais, you coming back around? Well, you know what, brother? I just, I don't feel like it today. So then that's how the separation of our people starts happening, because people start getting in, doing little stuff to bring about a divide. Mm-hmm. And then we get so to where We are people that, when we've been burned once, am I right, Tyson? When we've been burned once, we be like, girl, they did what now?
It's the truth.
Okay. And then everybody start acting funny. But we have to start paying attention to everything. And like I said, I don't have a problem with white folks, but you have to just pay attention to all this stuff. You have to see it for what it is. People love to see. The number one thing on social media is what? Black people fighting. Black people arguing. A bunch of chaos
arguing and fighting.
Black people.
Yep.
They love us gossiping. They love us arguing. They love us fussing and fighting. But we can't do this. Can't do this at all. We can't do it. But I keep telling y'all, at the end of the day, we have to start educating ourselves and being greater.
Yep.
Fussing and fighting ain't gonna do nothing but keep us divided. If we gonna fuss and fight, let's fuss and fight to be better. Let's come out of fussing and fighting with a solution so that we could be better and make things better. But we fuss and fight, and then we fall out and we do something totally different. This is the reason why we got churches all over the place, fussing and fighting, and we just separate. This is the reason why we got Kojic and Assemblies of God, fussing and fighting and separate. This is the reason why we got Baptists and the Church of God in Christ.
Yep.
You know what, brother? Because nobody really talks about like Martin Luther King's last year on earth. They talk about, I have a dream, I've been to the mountaintop, when he's down at Mason's Temple. They never talk about his last year in office. They never talk about his last year on earth, because it's a really, really, really dark place that he was at, because the ministers had left him. They had left him. The organizations had left him. He was basically a man out on his own, after he did the Vietnam speech at the Riverside Church a year to the day of his assassination. So that divide and conquer thing you're talking about, brother, it is very real. And at the end, when Dr. King died, he was indigent. He had no money. Harold Belafonte had to pay for the funeral. So people don't understand how deep that divide and conquer thing works. They had abandoned Dr. King. He had nobody around, and the situation, it still happens to this very day. People are dividing us, churches, sororities, fraternities, you know what I'm saying? Friendships. So it's real, very real what you're saying, Jives.
And then not only that, Auntie Deb said Martin Luther King was in a dark place because Malcolm X schooled him about the white man. Martin Luther King was no leader. Now, I don't want to say that publicly because I'm not going to get in trouble, Auntie Deb.
Yeah, and it goes back to education, like we were talking about. It goes back to that. We got to get in these boardrooms. We got to get on these legislative floors. We got to get in these classrooms. We have to do it. And that, because I live in Alabama, I made it my point. I'm in dissertation right now. I said, no, I got to go work for the State Department, whether it's Alabama or somewhere else, because nobody in there looks like me. So nobody's in there advocating for me. Nobody in there actually cares what I got going on. Y'all in there arguing about having yoga at schools, and child, we barely had PE. So yeah, child, that was in there arguing about yoga. So I'm like, I don't have a representation in there, and we need that because we are the majority, believe it or not. I said, we're gonna have to do it. And so, like I tell everybody, don't think somebody else is going to do it. When I say look for ways to participate, look for ways to be a part. I don't care if you say, oh, them folks don't do nothing. They ain't doing nothing because you ain't in it. You go get in it and you go do it. Because that's why they ain't doing it. You make it happen. Like, we have to do stuff like that. And it's hard, and it is hard. But
okay, just trying to hold on a second. Damn, I love you. I love you. So okay. So you said that Malcolm X Malcolm X trained him and changed his mind. Now, okay, we know Brother Malcolm went to Mecca, and when he went to Mecca and saw that there were other Muslims that didn't look like him, he came back and he had a conversion over in Mecca. Are you saying that Malcolm converted or tried to convert or train Dr. King in nonviolence, of which he was already, a student of Gandhi? Or are you saying that he trained him in a way of militancy? Because I'm confused of what you're saying, Deb. Okay, you say he was no leader. You know what? A lot of people, feel certain ways about Dr. King. I'm not here to, to argue that, but I was just trying to get a understanding of what you were saying when you said, when Martin Luther King changed his train of thought and started speaking on it. Okay. I'm not saying Malcolm trained Martin Luther King about anything. Okay. All right. Because I'm not going to argue. If you feel however you feel about Dr. King, I can't change your mind on that. Okay. I just want to get clarification. Right. But thank you, Deb. Thank you for the clarification. Okay. Take it from the top, y'all.
So back to the schooling. Arabs do not believe in Black Muslims. We had this thing.
I mean,
when it comes to this kind of stuff, y'all, you have to understand, in the Black community, in the Black, family, we have certain dogmas. Each one of us have a certain dogma. And that's why I don't argue with people about their philosophy on civil rights and social justice, because a lot of the older people that lived it, they feel that their perspective is a lot different from us who have read it and researched it. So I just allow people to espouse their points of view, and I respect it, and I just leave it at that, because I didn't live it. I read about it. I researched it. They lived it, so they feel that their perspective is slightly unique.
All right, listen, my mama
and it goes back to education.
Yeah.
My mama them, my mama them and grandmama them, they was all, because they was coached. They was all in the civil rights thing and everything like that.
Felix, what people when they say Martin Luther King was not a leader, a lot of people believe that Martin Luther King was bought and paid for by certain people and organizations. A lot of people believe that Martin Luther King was a patsy. That's their perspective. But
Auntie said, I lived it and always have been a radical militant.
Listen. Okay, right. So if they feel that Dr. King was not a leader, all I can do is just accept their point of view. I don't argue civil rights and social justice. We get nowhere doing that.
No,
we get nowhere. We get nowhere doing that.
And we'll miss the whole point of this whole school system situation. Okay, so basically, let me go back to this whole Taraji P. Henson situation. So that was. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the story, The Best of Enemies.
Best of Enemies, yeah.
So if you guys ever take the opportunity to watch that, it was about segregating the schools in Carolina, right? And then this was during the time of Browns versus the Board of Education, all this other stuff like that. So I'm gonna read this to you. So the true story of the unlikely relationship between Ann Atwater and she was an unspoken civil rights activist, and C.P. Ellis, a local Ku Klux Klan leader during the radical charge summer of 1971. Atwater and Ellis come together to co-chair a community summit on a desegregation of the schools in Durham, North Carolina. The ensuing debate and the battle soon lead to surprising revelation that changed both their lives forever. Now, I watched this movie, and I did, because, growing up, I did a little research on all this stuff too. But it's like these people realize that, again, we are better together than we are apart. We may lose friends because the Ku Klux Klan leader, he lost friends. They tried to kill him, all kind of stuff, because he said we're better together than we are apart. And what we fail to realize is, y'all look at all this, it's like they keep doing the same thing over and over again. They want to make us dumb. stupid, and ignorant. Go rap me some songs. Go play football.
Yeah.
Oh, I got another one. Also, you black men, you sexy black men, go get on OnlyFans. That's what you're good for. Show us some dick. Show us some meat. Show us some. Boom. You're gonna make thousands of dollars.
Yep. Go shoot that basketball. Go shoot that ball.
And it's
I want to ask Deb a question so bad. I know this is off topic. Brother, can you allow me just one moment? Because I just want to ask. Can you allow me just a moment, brother? I just want to ask a question. Deb, you said Martin Luther King got y'all singing "We Shall Overcome" 50 years later, and we still haven't overcome a damn thing. In your summation, Deb, what would you like us to do? Because we concede no power as Black people in America, as Black African descendants of slaves. We have no power. What would you like us to do? Would you like us to do a coup, take over the White House? What would you like us to do to get this militant power structure going? I'm just trying to figure out. I don't know. Maybe I'm misinterpreting your points. What would you like us to do, Deb?
I don't know. That we should overcome is subjective. It means something different to everybody. So that's a good question. What we got going?
You know what? To her point.
For one thing, we talk loud and say
is this. I'll say this. During the George Floyd situation, we did a lot of protests.
Okay.
We did a lot of marching. We did a lot of making noise and everything. But we never said, well, Auntie Deb, I just sent you the link. The thing about it is we make a lot of noise, but we're not being specific. We're not being specific as to what we want.
Okay.
We say the government should be doing something. And I'm with Thais. What do you want them to do? What do you want
us to do? What can we do as the people? What can we do? I apologize, Deb, if I triggered you by saying that Martin Luther King had a really rough year, his last year. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people say he was a hoe, he was a womanizer. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I should have just said that. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I know what I will say. It goes back to when I talked to you about when I mentioned my great grandmother. When it comes down to the overcoming situation, even though she's passed away, people can say what they want about Obama, whatever the case may be, but at the end of the day, she didn't get to see that somebody of color got into that White House, even if it was just we looking at his wife that looked like us. You know what I'm saying? She never got to see that. I said, she ended school in 3rd grade. So it's a lot of things that's happening now that in her mind would have been an overcoming, because never in her thought process or never in her lifetime would she have thought she would have been able to see it, and she didn't. But I'm saying, had she been alive, to her it would have been this is a long cry from being a sharecropper or whatever the case may be. That's why I said that is subjective, because to a lot of people it means a lot. You know what I'm saying? A lot of overcoming is something different for everybody, I guess you could say.
Okay, by land, are you saying by land or by property? Because most Black people live in metropolitan areas where there's not a lot of land. So are you saying by property or by land?
She said one thing we can do is buy land, spend our money within our own. Okay, so I'm
okay.
Say, well, Auntie, you can come on and you ain't got to turn your camera on.
Yeah, turn your camera off.
It's going to go back to education, just like you said a few minutes ago. It's going to go back to education, because in order to build our own, in order to have our own, first you got to know how to get it, how to sustain it, and how to make it happen for you. So you got to have, and I'm not saying you got to sit in somebody's school. I'm not saying you got to do that. We got an entrepreneur in this town. The lady is 83 years old. Her name is Miss P. She owns a hat shop, the only African-American woman to own one. When I tell you, we'll go sit at her feet and listen to her all day, and she ain't had no education the first. But that baby sells some hats now.
You know, this is what I've grown to learn and understand. There was this young woman who we were very, very cool at one point, and then it just went different. But we were good at we were doing studies and stuff. In the, and I'm trying to choose my words when I say this, but in the white Jewish community, when they get when they spend $1 in the white Jewish community, that dollar circulates in the white Jewish community for 30 days or better. When we get money, baby, it don't even last a week in our own community.
Yeah.
We got money going here, there, and everywhere. We don't really know how to save. We don't really know how to invest within ourselves. And anytime, and honestly, we've made it bad for ourselves. But in the Black community, we don't want to support one another. In the Black community, we've made it hard to support one another because of, I got this knockoff bag from Chinese, and well, you don't even say you got a knockoff. You just say this is a Gucci bag, and I'm gonna charge you almost the original price. So I'm gonna charge you, it's $3,000, but I'm gonna charge you $15,000. Baby, you got you paid. Baby, you got that off IG, and you paid what, $20 for that bag? Because baby, let me tell you something. When I tell you I used to do some shopping on AliExpress.
Yeah.
And what's the other, DL something?
I know she's talking about the Express. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
And it's like, you catch us, we be trying, and I mean, I get it though. You got to make your money. I get it. But it's like, we be trying to rape our own people. But again, when it goes back to the education.
Yep, that's what it goes back to. Education.
It goes back to, if I learn the system and then I also learn how to trust my own people, things will get better. But because, and we can get ready to end on this one, because there has been so much mistrust instilled in our community. And who said this? Was it Friday? That was Lord, what's that boy's name? Marquise. We talked about the Willie Lynch letter. Because that thing has been implemented so tough within our community, it is hard to trust one another. It is hard to believe in one another. And really, reality about it is, when you even think about that letter and the church, it's going to continue to be a divide until we get out of the foolishness.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. If people just read the Willie Lynch letter, it literally is. It really gives you a description of what it is that we're doing right now. Like, it literally tells you what it is that's happening, how the infrastructure was made just from that letter. And it's one of those things. It goes back to education. A lot of people don't even know what that is or what it says. And like I said, right, like I said, you ain't got to sit in the classroom. You ain't got to sit in no classroom. Nobody's saying you got to go to college. Nobody's saying any of that. But at the end of the day, you got to get you some know-how. You have to, because if not, and they will continue. And my kids call it stunt. They'll continue to stunt on you, because that's really what they're doing until we can come into who we are. Because we are powerful people. That's why they came. That's why they came and picked us up over there. Because they knew, they're like, oh God, who doing that? They know that's what we are. Once we come into that, we would literally run the country. And they don't like that. But once if we get our full power, we will. But we got to recognize it, and we got to recognize it, and we got to be able to. I'm not saying weaponize it as in hurting people, but we got to be able to use it just like they use it against us.
I don't doubt. When it's like this, it really, really sounds good when people say what we need to do. But when you look at the infrastructure in America and how it's set up against Black people, a lot of times it's just said like, we have not, because we're not going out doing it. But there are a lot of roadblocks.
Question. Was Willie Lynch a Black man?
No, Willie Lynch was a white man.
Because Oh, baby, they got him looking all black on here.
If I'm not mistaken.
Excuse me.
Oh, he's like a Negro.
No, Willie Lynch was white. That looked like Carter G. Woodson.
That's Carter G. Woodson.
Okay, this says the miseducation of the Negro, stolen legacy, and the Willie Lynch Letter, and the making of a slave. George James Carter G. Woodson. Wait a minute, there's a whole bunch of names on here. Okay, I'm gonna have to get this book. Wait a minute now.
Yeah,
the Willie Lynch Letter basically to summarize it really quickly, Jives, just says that if the slaves were seasoned correctly and they were indoctrinated correctly, that it would what you have today is what's going on today will still be going on if it was done correctly. If you indoctrinated them correctly, then hundreds of years later, we will be where we're at right now.
300 years later and more, they'll still be in the same place. And if you implement it right, you won't have to do nothing else. That's what
I can just paraphrase it for you, just really briefly. But the thing about it is, to Dev's point, I mean, I know a lot of people want us to just go out and buy land or want us to go and do all these things, and we just start recycling the black dollar. Everything will open up for us. But in America, this systematic racism and the socioeconomic stronghold that it has on our community, it is going to be really, really hard to break these chains. They give us just a little bit of light to make us feel like we're doing something, DeShonda. They give us just a little bit of crumbs and make you feel like, oh, you really accomplished something. So it's really a strong, it's institutional, basically.
Okay, so I got it right here. I was trying to. We did this before when we actually read Psalms 83 quite some years ago. Okay, so here's the letter, just to make this make sense to you all, because this just going. We really talking about this school system stuff. Okay, this speech was delivered by Willie Lynch on the bank of the James River in the colony of Virginia in 1712. Lynch was a British slave owner in the West Indies. He was invited to the colony of Virginia in 1712 to teach his methods to slave owners there. The term lynching is derived from his last name. Oh.
Yes.
I knew that. All right. Greetings, gentlemen. I agree.
That's how the letter opens for real.
That is how it opens, but it's funny because but yeah.
But it reminds me of somebody.
Yeah. Gentlemen, I greet you here on the banks of the James River in the year of our Lord 1712. First, I shall thank you, the gentlemen of the colony of Virginia, for bringing me here. I am here to help you solve some of your problems with slaves. Your invitation reached me on my modest plantation in the West Indies, where I have experimented with some of the newest and still the oldest methods of control of slaves. Ancient Rome would envy us if my program implemented. I didn't read that right. As our boat sailed south on the James River, named for our illustration of King, those versions of the Bible which we cherish.
All I'm saying is I just want the people to go get it. Just go read it.
We cherish. Oh, King James Bible.
Baby, and you will be blown away.
What you said, Taze?
And while you're at it, go get Nate Parker's Birth of a Nation.
Go get it.
Okay. It'll make you look at church. It'll make you look at church totally different.
I saw, you know what? This right here, when I read this, and I was an adult when I read this, When I read this, I really started looking at church very different. I said, wait a minute, what does this thing say? Oh.
Yeah.
I saw enough to know that your problem is not unique. While Rome used cords of wood as crosses for standing human bodies along its highways in great numbers, you are here using the tree and the rope on occasion. I caught the whiff of the dead slaves hanging from the trees a couple of miles back. Wow. You are not only losing valuable stock by hangings, you are having uprisings, slaves are running away, your crops are sometimes left in the fields too long for maximum profit, you suffer occasional fires, your animals are killed. Gentlemen, you know what your problems are. I do not need to elaborate. I am here to enumerate your problems. I am here to introduce to you the method of solving them. In my bag here, I have a foolproof method for controlling your black slaves. I guarantee every one of you that if installed correctly, it will control the slaves for at least 300 years. My method is simple. Any member of your family or your overseers can use it. I have outlined a number of differences among the slaves, and I take these differences and make them bigger. I use fear, distrust, and envy to control purposes. These methods have worked on my modest plantations in the West Indies, and it will work throughout the South. Take this simple little list of differences and think about them. On top of this list is age, but it's there only because it starts with an A. The second is color or shade. There is intelligence, size, sex, sizes of plantation statuses, on plantations, attitudes of owners, whether the slaves live in the valley, on the hill, east, west, north, south, have fine hair, coarse hair, or tall or short. Now that you have the list of differences, I shall give you the outline of actions. But before that, I shall assure you that, and that's where I got to go and finish reading the rest of it. Listen, at the end of the day, Benjamin said, Benjamin said he ain't gonna do that tonight. He said because he gonna be very combative.
Yeah, we gotta start that one earlier. Yes, that one gotta be started earlier.
Yeah, Benjamin. You know we gonna we can do that tomorrow, Benjamin.
Yeah, you gotta start early.
If you feel like coming on tomorrow, we can be combative when we start off. Okay.
Yeah, we gotta start that earlier.
See, I like talking to Ben because he said Auntie Dad, I was reading the letter. The thing is, it's going to be very difficult. Oh, she said she sent it to me. Hold on one second. Auntie Dad sent it to me. Wait a minute. Oh no, Felix said that. Okay. Oh yeah, Auntie. Yeah, okay. The destruction. Yes. But let me listen, y'all. Y'all need to go get this one. And it's a few more that y'all need to go get too. But let me put this up. But the thing about it is, it's like when we start having the hard conversations with ourselves, with our people, like you start looking at everything different.
Yeah.
When you really understand Christianity, the church, And I mean, because y'all just pay this attention. I love the Lord, I really do. But look at how people just get away with everything, and they turn around and say, "Touch not mine anointed, do my prophet no harm."
Yeah, like.
But he just, I don't care. That's God's servant.
No, but also at the same time, that same book says all things are lawful, but not expedient. Just because you can, don't mean you should.
Oh, I want to put that one up too.
So, like you said, at the end of the day, it boils down to getting that education, man. Got to get the knowledge in order to combat, in order to argue, in order to combat, and in order to have discussions. You got to know what's out there, what's going on.
Here, this is the book Auntie Dale was talking about, The Destruction of a Black Civilization. I mean, it's there.
It is.
It's listen. You know what's funny about it, DeShonda? If you take the time to really read this mug, like I ain't talking about no read it. No. Shut that lawnmower off. If you take the time to slowly read this book, it's gonna tell you. This is why I tell people, I don't look at the Bible as the only infallible written word. I don't look at it like that. When I read this Bible, it tells me history of what has transpired amongst a people, and it's happening all over again.
Yep.
Not only that, but this is us right here. Oh Lord, I messed up some. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I'll take it out. Hold on. Okay. This is what they teach us right here. I can't even blow this up like I want to. You poor, but you spending all your money right here. This is what you're spending your money on right here.
Yep. Right here. Like the song said, like Eve said, I still can't think of what the song is, but that verse sticks out so bad. Some of y'all ain't writing well.
Hold on.
Too concerned with fashion.
Let me get it. I know what you're talking about too. I know what you're talking about. Hold on, let me see.
Cause that song is old, but when I heard it the other day, I was like,
how's that verse go?
Some of y'all ain't writing well. Too concerned with fashion. I can't think of the name of the song, but when I heard it, I was like, you know what? You're absolutely right.
Let me blow your mind.
Right. Let me blow your mind. Yep.
Let me blow your mind. Hold on. Okay, it goes like this. Jealousy, let it go. Results could be tragic. Some of y'all ain't writing well, too concerned with fashion.
Yep.
None of you ain't Giselle catwalking and imagine.
Yep.
Von Burstenberg came back.
I'm sorry, brother. I got a situation. And I'm just, it's just making me so angry because I want to be here, but it's okay. I'm back.
You okay?
And I know you was reading the Willie Lynch letter, so I said my brother's reading.
But yeah, like you said, it's just gonna go all the way back to us getting the education and really learning who we are.
Somebody said, I'm not arguing with niggas in 2022.
Uh-oh.
Wait. Nat Turner was a special man. God revealed the truth to him. Wait a minute. They wrote it down so he could keep moving. Yeah, it does. History does repeat itself. And you know what? A lot of rappers said a lot of things in their lyrics, and we never listened to them.
Yeah.
We just be out here bumping.
Y'all just go buy you some land and go out and shop at the African stores, and all of this will go away. It'll all go away, baby. Just buy you some land, go out there, try to put your money together, buy you some land, and go to the African shops and go to the Ethiopian shops. And once you do that, honey, all of this will go away. It'll all just go away.
Why can I stand you? You know what I do? I would love to hear Felix and Auntie Deb and everybody just, come on and we just talk, because everybody's thoughts and opinions, there's a point to be taken from everybody. Cece said the Latinos, Asians, etc. work together. What do we do well? Well, here's the thing about it. Again, we're at odds with each other all the time. And it's like, it's stupid. And they do it so much. And it's like, you see these Asians, baby, they'll work together well, get it done. They have with education, baby, they'll get in there, get their education. But you know what's funny about that? They train their children at an early age
at home
to be doctors, lawyers, physicians, all of that stuff. What do we do? Praise breaks? You're going to be a preacher. God said, I see the spirit. Y'all come
listen to my baby sing at the Bible study at home. Come here, baby. Come some praise dance for him and sing. Yeah, that's what we do at the Bible study because your granny told you to do it.
You know what? When my niece told me that she wanted to take care of fish, you know what my thing was next? I not only wanted her to go to dance school, but I wanted her to learn how to be what they call them, the people that take care of animals.
A veterinarian?
Veterinarian. I want her to go to school to be a veterinarian because again, she watches her uncle. She watched her uncle every day take care of these animals, fish, birds, dogs. Again, give the child their passion. When you give them their passion and make it fun, baby, you already put money in their pocket right there.
Yep.
My mother, let me tell you what my mom did for me. My mom knew I was a very creative person. I could draw, I could color, I could draw anything in the world. I was good at that. My mom gave me coloring pencils, markers, and that's what I was good at doing. I knew I liked horses. No pun intended.
Uh-oh. We need it.
But I like animals and all of that stuff like that. She put these things in front of me so that I can learn. When I got older, I continued the creativeness. And then that's when I got into wanting to be an architect. That's when I got into wanting to be no Miss Sheila, there were no wanted to be working on colors and design and all of those stuff. That was my passion. So that's why it's always been passionate to me about my presentation. So when I come on, my presentation matters. It's not just about clothes, because I'm gonna tell you right now, Thais, here's the thing: we can make $100,000 a month doing videos and everything. Your presentation, and I don't want you to see me the next time with all this bling bling blah blah rows of chains, because it don't matter. Is that
at
what
all.
you spend your money on?
At all.
I would say this. I'm just saying this because I don't want no smoke from none of these people. I don't want to smoke from nobody. What I'm saying is this, y'all. What I'm saying is this. I have lived long enough and I've studied long enough and I've researched long enough, and I know America for her works. I am keenly aware how this is a capitalistic society, and it gives a damn about what you feel, about what you want, what you desire. If it is not about money, and if it's not about putting money in the pockets of the oligarchs and the plutocrats and that 1%, they don't give a damn about your aspirations. They really don't. Okay? So we are the only people that have been enslaved here on this actual land. So all of these other people don't have the psychological damage that we have. They don't. And they get a red carpet treatment upon arrival at the damn airport. You literally can come here. It is the good time country and set up shop, get loans, get money, get all kinds of things, and you will be on your way. Yes, Black people have access to capital, but it is not at the rates of everybody else. It's not. That's why we have redlining. That's why we have predatory lending and predatory loans. We have so many different things that are against us. It is ingrained into the doctrine of this racist ass union. They're never going to allow black people to get on a level of white people. It's just not going to happen.
And if we ever do, which some have, like now there are very few people, very few black people who are in the 1%. Very few black people. Like if you Google who the 1% of black people are, baby, it's one group of it's this one family. They're in the 1%. Honey, I forgot what all they do, but how they live is so different from anybody else. Because a lot of black people, when they get into that category, they don't want to come back. They don't want to come down with everybody else. No.
Let me just address, because I just think I want to help everybody, because I think people have this, it's almost a form of respectability politics, where, you know how Bill Cosby was telling everybody to pull their pants up and everything will get better. You'll stop getting shot. We've seen doctors and lawyers get shot. So that doesn't really ring true. So let me just address this. If we just start getting our own businesses and starting our own communities, everything would just turn magical overnight. We've already done that. They burnt those places down to the ground. Okay. I just want people to get clear on what we're working with. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it, but I just want you to understand, if you don't see it happening in rapid succession in these communities, there's a reason why. There is a thing called post-traumatic slave disorder, and we are suffering from it. You cannot expect people that are sick to function like they are well. And I'm just saying, y'all.
I agree.
We've been in this for a very long time, and I agree with Thais. It's a process to be free. Like some black people, as they say, are woke, but it's a process for everybody else to get to that place of being woke too. It's a process for everybody to stop being dependent on the system. So it's like this, like, I hear some of the people in the comments, we're on here talking and everything like that. If the thing for us was, it was mandatory.
Yeah.
That if you caught a slave reading a book, they were to be dealt with. Education for us was the highest priority. And if we were caught learning, it was a problem. And we just see it all over again. It's like, we'll give you education because it's the thing now. It's the thing now. But we're not going to give it all to you.
And you know why they're not going to give it all to us? Because we don't want it bad enough to get it all. Because at the end of the day, that if it was such a problem for us to learn to read, you already knew that they knew if we learned it, it was going to be over with for them, because we've already turned whatever they had, they're nothing, into something. And so it goes back to knowing your power. That was just learning how to read. Little Johnny jumped over the moon or something like that. That's what it was. They knew if we learned it and we got it, we were going to take it. And maybe
I want to be clear. I'm gonna just keep it, because this video gonna be seen by a lot of people. My brother has a lot of people, so I just want to be clear. I want to be clear, and if they want me to come back tomorrow for part 2, I will be here. I'm just being clear. I want you to have black businesses. I want you to own your own home. I want there to be thriving black communities where the dollar is recycled. I want all of that. But you know what? Black people, we read these books and we fantasize about, utopias, and we have to be realistic. This is 2022, and you have to know what type of evil you are up against. in this country. I think people read these books and it becomes fantastical about, how things used to be in this civilization and what happened at this point in history. We got to be real clear, y'all, on what we're up against so that we know how to maneuver and create our own playbooks. Because at the end of the day, the higher ups, the Black people that have made it, they have already been sold a bill of goods, and they're not really coming back and picking up a gang of Black people. So you have the Black people that have made it over. Once that door closed, they never went back and opened it up again. They're gone.
Thais, if you look at people like Beyonce, Jay-Z, Puffy, you don't really see them out here marching with us.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna see none of them out here. McShawn, I can't stand you. You don't see what Bob Johnson coming back trying to advocate for Black people. You don't see these billionaire Black people trying to come do anything. They're not gonna do it.
They sell. Once they sell, brother. Once they get enough money they want to do, they sell. All of our traditional Black organizations, from Johnson Publishing in Chicago to all of these other wonderful places, either they go bankrupt or they become insolvent and they're not manageable anymore. So it's a lot of work we have to do. But y'all, like she's Deb said, honey, just buy you some land and open up your greenwood, honey. It'll all go away.
This has been really good. And Jives, if you want us to come back, let me know. But I do gotta jump off. But this has been really good. This is conversations that we do have to have, that we need to have.
Bro, you need to do a series this week, 5 days, every night. You need to do this like Roots.
You know what? I would Cal, now I know Cal. Cal said you will never see that because a lot of their success is because of the white dollar. Here's the thing. Now I'll say this, Cal. I do believe this. Michael Jackson, if you listen to some of his songs, Michael Jackson letting you know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that
they don't care about us.
Care about us?
They don't really care about us. They don't.
Michael Jackson told y'all, like, all the hatred, all the wars, they don't really care about us. It's a lot of people, because of where they're at, they can't speak like they want to speak, so they send you smoke signals. Mm-hmm. They send you smoke signals to tell you, hey, Beyonce, she do it, she sing about it in her songs. And what's the crazy part about it is, don't nobody recognize it, but be like, oh, that is just, oh, it's so Black. Yeah. Homecoming and all that other stuff. Formation. Okay. All right, Deshaun, I got you. All right. I appreciate you being here. Tomorrow.
Love you, Deshaun.
Yeah, we can do it tomorrow. All right, bye, guys.
All right. Formation. It's a few more songs that she had wrote. Baby, they saying when they get in position, when they get in certain places, they can't say what they want to say no more.
Mm-mm.
It's like we can't say nothing else no more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when Beyonce was out here, you know, that she wasn't no billionaire, she wasn't out here doing all this other stuff. Oprah Winfrey, look at Oprah Winfrey, clear example. When Oprah Winfrey was just a reporter and she was just on there talking, baby, she was talking about everything. She didn't became a billionaire, she don't say too much of nothing. Tyler Perry used to be very much so involved. Tyler Perry became a billionaire. He don't say too much nothing. He just, anything that he wants to say, he puts it in his plays.
It's the truth. It's the truth. That 1%, you know, the Black is a part of that 1% and a small fraction. And, you know, they give to a couple of HBCUs and, you know, give to a couple of charities and, hey, that's it. Let's go home. Like when Beyonce did Formation, everybody went crazy. And I was like, okay, she did her album with a step show, HBCU thing. That is not exactly, the second coming, and that's not to degrade her work or belittle her work. I'm just saying a lot of times we give credence to people, and we have artists out here of the same, persuasion that is doing wonderful work, and we don't pay attention to them. India Ari, so many others, we don't even care about their work, So it's a lot, brother. It really is.
If you pay attention, the Willie Lynch Letter is still in action.
It is.
Pay attention to Beyonce. Why? Because she's light skinned. She got the weird looking hair and look purpleated eyes and stuff. India Ari, Jill Scott, fat, kinky black hair. She still awesome. India Ari, beautiful Afrocentric songs, amazing. Dark skin, nappy hair. That's it.
But she's without a record label right now, brother. She's without like, major backing from a major label. She's doing everything the independent route, because after a while, they're not gonna put no money behind nappy hair and brown skin and all that stuff. They're not. You're giving too much credence to, your people.
But Thais, look at the music that's out right now. Don't make no sense. You got all these light skinned, light bright girls out here that's making hoochie coochie music. Ain't about nothing. You got what's the name? Mulatto. All she sang about is pretty much prostitution.
Yeah.
Selling coochie.
And
they get millions of views, shaking pussy everywhere, and it's just, that's it, yes, ooh.
Jennifer Holiday can sing circles around Adele, but when Jennifer Holiday was plus size and lost weight, she was damn near homeless. But here come Adele with, a nice voice, but it's not earth-shattering to me. And this woman is selling 10 million albums. So like Stephanie Mills said, they want the music. They don't want us. Period.
And
they want the culture.
Somebody came back and did Hello. Remember when Joe did Hello? Joe created the song Hello, and then here comes Adele singing Hello.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Like we repeating this stuff all over again.
And Lionel Richie did it before Joe. A form of it.
So it's like we're seeing this stuff again, but I just feel like at some point we got to take what's ours and stand on it. Yet Adele paid $750,000 for a performance.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, she's like the highest paid entertainer ever, and just got thrown out of a residency because come to find out, it wasn't about her COVID-19. She was up there arguing with her black boyfriend. So the hotel was like, "Girl, we're good. Thank you for coming." Adele was a man. It was over some black meat.
She had some meat up there at the hotel. That must be some good meat you got put out your residency, girl.
I don't know who that lady Leanna was, but lady, how are you blocked if you're still talking? She thought she was blocked.
That's somebody just want to be talking in the comments.
Oh, okay.
Thais, I'm telling you, I pay attention to all this stuff, and it's like, I'm gonna say this, and I know they're gonna come out. They're gonna come out the comments. Watch what I say, Thais. There are gospel artists.
Yeah.
There are gospel artists out here that can sing circles. You know what I'm about to go to. That can sing circles around them girls. But because of certain things, accolades, they don't get nothing.
No.
Kim Burrell can sing circles around them girls. Don't get no recognition. Not like that.
And I gotta give it to her. That song she did with Ricky Dillon, I felt that thing, Kim. I don't mess with you like that, Kim. But you hit a note somewhere at the end. I was like, wait a minute, Kim. Oh, I felt that thing, Kimberly. You still ain't on my Christmas card list, but I felt that thing.
Ties the Pay Sisters.
Yeah.
The Pay Sisters.
Amen.
Could sing circles around them girls. And I did a video about that. And Leslie sat up there and made a whole status about it and got mad at me talking about, oh, he's just a Jives fan. I mean, he's just a Clark fan. I am a Jives fan, though. He's just a Clark fan trying to put us in odds. No. The truth of the matter is just the truth. Them Pay Sisters could sing circles, but because they didn't look the part.
That's it.
And I even went back and I asked Leslie. I said, Leslie, where's the lie? Y'all,
but she had a nice nasty attitude on Iyanla, brother.
And I would read circles around her.
Yeah, she had a nice nasty attitude on Iyanla.
And in the street way, baby, don't you play with me.
And
CC, you are absolutely right. My mama sure did steal some of her wrists from me on.
I was gonna tell you offline, brother. I wasn't gonna tell you online because I didn't want you to get upset. I didn't want you to get mad. I didn't want you to, flip your wig because it is your sister down. But they say somebody told me today, say Tice was because they say they watch our show, the Shears and stuff. They watch our show. But somebody said, girl, was she talking about y'all today on Nick Cannon? So wait a minute, Kiki. Who are you talking about?
Wait a minute.
I gotta watch the show.
Wait a minute, somebody said it to me now, Kiki.
She was on. Well, she said it on. She said it on her page too. She said, "I'm sick of y'all." Who is y'all?
Who is y'all, sister?
Well, she went on another thing and clarified about her husband. She said what she was saying was it's about boundaries. No, Kiki, it was not about no damn boundaries. You made it seem like you don't let women stay in your house, Kiki. But she said she evidently, I think she went on Nick Cannon today and to clarify and talk about some things.
Sister, was you talking about your brother?
I know she wasn't talking about the four kings or the kings, honey.
You talking about your brother in my show?
We're gonna continue to cover. We may have a part 2 Friday.
Now, sister, I'm gonna have to go. Now, sister. Now, you know I love you, sister. Don't you do it now.
Aaron stole ribs. Oh, wow. From Sean. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, wow. Sister, you better let Kyrie see that.
I gotta go watch the show now because Kiki, if you talk,
I gotta watch it too.
If you talk about your brother, Kiki, I'm gonna have to read you, and I ain't gonna be nice if I read you, daughter of God.
Kiki, we took it the way you said it, girl. We thought you meant, you go and get people. You go get people hotels because you don't want them to stay in your house. That's how we took it. Karen, don't nobody want. Somebody said nobody want that nigga. But you know what? Like I think it was Darius. No, it wasn't Darius. It may have been Jives that said it. When you are that insecure, you have to have been hurt before. A man broke your heart, and now you're at a place now where you don't want to really take that chance again. So she may be dealing with some old residual hurt from the man she tried to run over allegedly.
Thais, I'm gonna tell you something. So I am going to be covering the situation with Bishop Green. They got to go to court this week.
Bishop Buildings.
What's funny is this. We're talking about education. I have 166 people on. Now, mind you, they have really been with my algorithm. I don't know what's going on, but they've been messing with my algorithm.
They're doing the same thing with me.
But Let me talk about some gossip, some good hot church gossip.
Mm-hmm.
Who raping somebody, who giving somebody some meat. If I have over 1,000 some people on, I'm gonna tell you something. Black people, and me and my brother, we getting off of here. Black people, where my video is. Black people, we do this to ourselves. You don't want education, you don't want the knowledge, but you want to sit up out here and sit back, kiki, holler, skinning and grinning and carrying on at some foolishness other versus putting something in your head. No pun intended.
Oh.